I am so thrilled that Natural Living app invited me to come and share art of natural living from perhaps a different lens than many of you have spoken in terms of health and diet and exercise and community and stewarding the planet, all part of natural living. But I look at it because of the nature of the work I do. I look at it more through the lens of what it means to truly be alive, to truly find, honor, and give your whole self to this world before you die. And I'm blessed to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who now come to me from all over the world to work with me privately one-on-one to help them get unstuck and to help understand the difference between the ego's mind and our early conditioning and the language of the intelligence of the mind versus the language of the intelligence, or what I call the genius of the soul. And they're such very different languages, and we don't even really teach that in culture anymore. We don't teach that there really is a different language from the heart and soul apart from the language of the mind. And so I'm blessed to have couples and individuals come who have had early trauma, early stresses, or just feel stuck and lost to find a purpose, meaningful purpose. So rather than talk at you, I would love to invite you into a short experiential for yourself. And it's always helpful to close your eyes. You don't have to, but if you close your eyes for just a moment so that you can go inward a little bit, sort of drop away from the thinking mind, I like this, I don't like this, do I agree with this person, do I not? Just let all that float away. And let yourself feel, if you can, the feeling. You don't have to have a memory, but feel the feeling of a time in your early life when you felt hurt or out of control or had something bad happen that you couldn't change. There was no good way out. Because all of us have an early wound in our life. Everybody, no matter how great our upbringing, and so many do not have great upbringings, everyone has what I call a core wound, a place where we first discovered that we're independent from this being mother. We're dependent on she and the people in this household for our very survival, and my needs aren't being met and I can't control it. I don't know how to do it. So I'm dependent on somebody. I'm out of control, my needs are not being met. That's a wound in and of itself. And then of course there's many, many worse ones. It's very common and shockingly common how much abuses happen in the family. And it's not a shame to experience it. I wish everybody understood how unfortunately common it is. And those who have the courage to come and heal from that place, to actually use the wound to find your gift in the world, kudos to you, because to me that's what this life is all about. That's the noblest way to work with our wounds, our hurts. We're all going to experience those, and we're all going to experience more. We don't have control over what happens next in each of our days, and only to a very small extent. So close your eyes for a moment and just picture, it doesn't have to be a memory, but again, the feeling of, oh my God, I'm out of control, I'm not safe. And notice that the feeling in the body, but also notice what came up and to save your life. We all put on a persona, we all put on a mask. They become our armoring that save us through life, and thank God we do. It's very, very helpful. It gets us through life, but at some point, that identity, that armoring gets too tight, too rigid, and we feel soulfully bereft. We feel lost from self. We don't know who true self is. I hear it hundreds and hundreds of times. I just can't find myself. And our culture sort of trains it out of us. Our early experiences train it out of us. So you can feel, just in that brief moment, a feeling of that loss and that shock as a very young child, because it comes back and runs us subconsciously. They say that 95% of our behaviors are automatic subconscious reactions from those early experiences, and we're not even aware of them because they're subconscious. So the mind comes in and we become an identity, and that identity takes over and helps us succeed in life. But the cost, the casualty, is the loss of the understanding of the soul's language and the understanding of what true self really means. So now, close your eyes and imagine Like feel the feeling of one time when you just felt in awe, like something that you just sort of almost didn't dare love, like I wish I could be a dancer, or I would love to be a rock star, or I just would love to write a children's book. I have a feeling for that, but I don't dare trust myself. Or I'd like to be a musician. Or I'd like to help care for animals. Something that has an internal feeling of inspiration for you. It's almost like a longing, a little bit of a longing. Just feel it in your body. It feels very different, as it should, from, oh no, I'm not in control, the previous inner looking. But this feeling of, oh, if only I could, that's the whisper of your soul. The soul literally speaks in symbol, in metaphor, in playfulness. And so, from my lens, when we're talking about natural living, how can we accumulate knowledge and research of diet and exercise and what to eat and what not to eat and how to help steward if we also don't have any grasp on who I am as a person, like my truest essence before I die? What is this soul's genius? What is your soul's unique genius? And you won't find it by trying to figure it out from the mind. You'll find it, this is so elegantly simple, you'll find it by just starting to do little daily spontaneous acts of beauty that delight you. Little tiny things, like when you're fixing dinner, take an extra moment and arrange the plate to look like a sculpture, or throw a candlelight on the side of it, or just something impish, playful that sparks the muse in you, sparks that feeling of hopefully you could feel in that second little short tiny meditation, that tiny place that says, oh, if I could dance. Okay, we'll start dancing. I'm 62, 63 soon. And if I can save you decades of trials and tribulations from some of my false starts and some of the many, many years of study I've done by helping others actually find how simple it is to just let go of the mind's over control where it doesn't belong. It does not belong in matters of soul, which is where your muse, where your sense of peace, your sense of love, your sense of purpose, where your unique genius lies. Every single person I've worked with, and I've worked with hundreds from all over the world now, their core wound, the one place where they really had a wound, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. We have many different levels or different words we put to it. Every single one, their unique, true gift in the world, the one thing that they had as a genius, came from within the wound when you know how to playfully honor it as a worthy teacher and lead you out. So imagine this one more thing. Imagine, because this is true, there will never, ever be another you. You have a specific billions and billions of configurations and DNA and patterns of ancestry and then unique experiences that no one else will have. And it gives you, like a snowflake, one specific, unique, utterly unique spectrum of consciousness. There's something that you alone can express in a way that will never be expressed again. So what must we give life before we die? What is it to be, to live naturally? You have to be in touch with your nature. You have to let your true nature, not the thinking one, your true nature has to come out and express. Little tiny ways every day. It's not a figure it out and then go. It's like, no, it's right now. Right now I do this. Because this feels right to my muse. This feels like it has a little bit of spark, a little bit of genius to it. Just dare. And I'll even put it a little further. Not only dare to do it, what happens, and I dare you not to. What happens to your life if you don't? So welcome to the art. It's an art to being truly you and giving your genius in this life.